You're listening to the Full Court Press with your host, Drew Duncan. Don't you dare touch that dial. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Full Court Press. I am your host, Drew Duncan. You guys are checking me out live. Don't forget, you can always be a part of the program by tweeting me. That's at DrewDuncan83. Of course, you can reach me on Facebook at DrewDuncan83 as well. And for anybody that may be on Instagram, I am on there at DrewDuncan83. Folks, football season is upon us. Preseason is officially live and well right now. The NFL begins here shortly in September, and I have with us a guy that I consider to be a true legend in the NFL. At the time, he set a rookie record for the Dallas Cowboys for a 102-yard punt return for a touchdown. Additionally, he had 1,000 punt return yards in only 2 seasons of football, and he's got a Super Bowl ring on his finger from playing with the Dallas Cowboys in 1970, one of the best defensive backs in my mind to ever play the game. Everybody, please give a huge welcome for Isaac, a.k.a. Ike Thomas, right here on the Full Court Press. Ike, thank you so much for joining us today.
I appreciate it being here. Okay.
I got to ask you, first of all, obviously, as a former Dallas Cowboy, we're looking at Jerry Jones, the state the Dallas Cowboys are in right now. They're becoming a team that people are starting to see as the criminal offense team, so to speak, in the NFL, between Michael Irvin and Leon Lett. Now we see most recently Ezekiel Elliott come to the forefront. When you look at the Dallas Cowboys, what is the main concern as a former player for the team and maybe now as a fan that you see with them?
Well, I see that it's a team that has the potential to win, several Super Bowls. And if certain situation shows up, these guys coming in young, and they don't understand what the NFL is all about. But as they grow and with the older guys around them, those guys should be okay. You're going to have stumbles on the way, so, yeah.
I think about the Dallas Cowboys and where they're at right now as opposed to where they were when you were there. Are the glory days kind of forgotten for Dallas? We're talking one playoff win since their last Super Bowl back in 1996. Tony Romo's kind of built as a quarterback with all the talent in the world, but just couldn't get it done when the game was on the line. Or do you think Dak Prescott truly is the future of this football team?
Well, as far as Dak, he has all the potential. He has all the tools that you need to have in order to be a great quarterback, and he's a leader. So therefore, barring injury, I think he would be a very successful quarterback, and Dallas should do quite well in the upcoming years.
You brought up barring injury. You played in a time when the NFL was considered to be in the glory days in terms of the physicality of it. Now we're seeing all these things come to light about CTE and all these different things, but you grew up and played in an era when guys just kind of played with the pain. Do you like the advancements that the NFL is making now, or do you think some of it is a little bit overblown and guys are just kind of taking it to a far different level than it should be at?
I think they on the right track. I think they need to do more, especially for the safety, as far as the games. Back in the day when we played, if you had a concussion, they wasn't calling it that then. You got your bell wrong. That's the cliche they used to use, but the guys today is different than the makeup we had. You had a lot more loyalty to the game and to the team. So, I think that's really basically what it is now. These young guys just, have to learn, how to deal with the game itself and the league itself. So, but as far as Dallas, they should be okay.
You talked about loyalty, the way the game is played now. At one point, I interviewed a guy that you probably know very well. He used to play defensive back for the Oakland Raiders. Back then, they called him the Hammer. Do you think that the NFL is soft now compared to what it used to be, or do you think it's just as tough but it's just easy for maybe some of us old school guys to look at it and go, oh, come on. The game is still football. The game is still physical.
Yeah, the game is still physical. I just think that, now the athlete is different. They bigger, they faster, but they not as tough as we were. We would play with broken fingers, broken wrists, different parts. I remember the time Bob Lilly played with a broken arm, and he was a defensive tackle, Hall of Famer. And, no complaints. These guys here were dedicated to the game.
This is Ike Thomas joining yours truly, Drew Duncan, right here on the Full Court Press. If there was anything that you would change about the game today, what do you think that one thing would be?
What would I change about the game? I don't think the game is not so much about changing the game. I think the players have to step up more and be dedicated to the game and playing the game and being loyal to the game. Because, they're making so much money now, it's all about that, and the loyalty is not there. They have to step up and be loyal to the game as well as the team and the league.
You talk about loyalty, the amount of money guys are making. I think about a guy that you're probably very familiar with, Jim Brown, long time ago, played for the Cleveland Browns, obviously, as we all know, made more money as an actor than he ever saw in his total career in the NFL. Do you think that money has changed the game and the way that people approach the game for better or for worse?
Well, I think the money has a lot to do as far as look at the guys that's coming out of college. You got a rookie coming into the NFL making millions of dollars, and he come from, just say, not having those things that, a lot of guys have, and he come in, he has $1 million, just buy whatever he can, and then, they look at it as, money is power to them. And, some of them think, they could play above the law, but that's not, you can't do that. They need mentors. They need the people around them that will teach them and show them the way.
We're talking to Ike Thomas right here on the Full Court Press. I am Drew Duncan. Ike, you've been away from the game for a long time. What are some of your proudest moments? Because I think about a movie, Any Given Sunday. It had Lawrence Taylor in it. And he said, when a man looks back on his life, he has to be proud of all of it, not just the years that he spent in pads and cleats. Since you've been gone from the NFL and you've been away from the game, what is your most proud moment, something that you've been involved in? I know you've been very big in cancer research. What are some other things that you've done, though, that you look at and you go, since I've left football, this is the thing that I love the most about my life since?
Well, I'm pretty much a low-key guy. I don't like limelight. I don't like, a lot of publicity and that. But the big thing I like is working with the kids. I've done that quite often. I work with the Boys and Girls Club. I work with certain, clubs that are dealing with kids and trying to guide them the right way. I was in the criminal justice system as an officer, probation officer, and, working with those kids was rewarding. So that's about, my biggest, reward is that, seeing a kid make it.
Man, I got to tell you, it has been a huge privilege to have you on with us. I know you're a very busy man, so I'm going to let you do whatever it is that you need to do for the rest of the day. But if there's anything that you would love to say to anybody that may be out there listening right now, as I do with all of my guests, I'm just going to give you the floor and allow you to say anything that may be on your mind.
Oh, well, I would just like to, if any of the young players listening today, upcoming, just stay focused, stay true to your dream. And, once you get knocked down, get up, start it over again. And as long as you get up, you'll be okay.
Never say quit. I love it. Everybody, this is Drew Duncan. You're on the Full Court Press. You are listening to me live. We just had a legendary Ike Thomas right here on the program. We'll be back right after this. Don't you dare touch that dial.